Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we'll talk about how some people are getting their green card without their priority date not being current. We'll also talk about some bills that are in the chatter in the Congress. There are some misconceptions about those bills and we'll clear those away. We'll also talk about some of the reliefs that USCIS is bringing in order to speed up the processes. And finally, we'll also talk about why the rest of the world category is using up EB2 green cards all of a sudden. And a special small giveaway. So don't miss any of these topics, watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Before we move forward, I would like to mention that there are some affiliate links in the description. You might want to check them out because they will offer you a small discount. And while you are down there, hit the like button because that will greatly help the video. Now, happy Earth Day. We only have this blue marble to live with, so we should take care of it. Now, the other day, I visited the Harvard Museum of Natural History with my daughter, and there were some amazing facts in there. This was one of them. In the Earth's 4.5 billion year old history, humans just occupied the last 200,000 years. So while I was going through this exhibit, it made me clear in my mind how insignificant is our human time frame on this valued planet. So we should take care of our planet. So happy Earth's Day. So let's start with our first topic of the day. Now some people have been contacting me for a while in the last couple of months that they have been getting the request for evidence for the medicals. For those people's dates were current last year up until 6th of September and then they retrogressed and they never got their green cards. But now all of a sudden in the last few weeks, some of them are getting RFEs in the mail to submit their medicals. Now you may ask, how is this possible? Because the date is not current. Why is all of a sudden USCIS interested in your case? And among the handful of them that have notified me about this particular scenario, one of them actually got their green card while their date was not current. So their date was current in September and before and it retrogressed, but then all of a sudden USCIS requested them for the medicals and they eventually got their green card while their date was not current. Now you may ask, how is this possible? And I don't know who to ask this, but my only theory is, and this one I have covered in my last couple of videos, is that USCIS claims that they had assigned a visa number while their date was current prior to September 6th of 2022. So it is kind of weird because that is the last thing that they do on your case before the adjudication. They go through the completeness of the application, they go through the interview, they request your medicals, and then before approving the case, they pull a visa number from the system and that's when they approve the case. So that is the last thing they do. But in these particular scenarios, they may have pulled a visa number before and then realize that the medical is missing. And after a couple of months, they came back to your application and issued you an RFE, submit the I-693. Now, I cannot guarantee that this will be the case for everybody who is getting that RFE letter while your date is not current, but I can tell you that at least in one case, their visa was approved while their date was not current after responding to the RFE and submitting the medicals. So I just thought I would cover that one particular point because this is important because people get confused when they get this RFE letter while their date is not current, thinking that is it a good or bad sign. In my opinion, it is a good sign. You should definitely respond to the RFE with your medicals and hope that they approve your case and you get your green card. With that said, I want to cover one particular aspect of my videos. Now I cover a lot of immigration related content and sometimes it's a good news and sometimes it's not so good news, such as visa bulletin in the last couple of months. It's not moving anywhere and some small portion of people are not taking it in a good way. And as a result of that, they are upset with the video and they show that with the thumbs down for the video. Now what this thumbs down does is it literally kills the video because it is one of the factors that YouTube uses in their search algorithm. If you have enough thumbs down, then the video does not get picked up to be distributed to the other viewers. Now my channel consistently gets 98% of thumbs up, which is great. A lot of people like my channel, but in some of these videos I have seen there is an uptick in thumbs down, and I have to attribute that to the displeasure or discontent that the users are experiencing after looking at a topic such as visa bulletin. And it is not a reflection of me because I am just a messenger, but it would help, instead of putting a thumbs down, if you can put down in the comment section below what are your thoughts about it, what are others thinking about it, or it may be a criticism to me in terms of presentation or any other aspect of presenting the video, and I will take it as a constructive feedback. So hopefully people can decipher their discontent and express it in a proper way instead of just hitting the thumbs down and killing the video. That's just my thought. I wanted to get it out there. And majority of the people I know are not doing that, but there are some fraction of people that are doing that, and I just wanted to clarify that. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is interesting. Now this is the new bill that's been talked about in the House of Representatives. So Representative Torres, Meng, Jayapal and Senator Gillibrand and Booker introduced Fairness to Freedom Act. Now what does this bill do? Now this bicameral legislation establishes the right to legal representation for individuals facing removal from the United States who are unable to afford it. Now this is particularly directed towards the undocumented immigrants. It doesn't say whether it's for documented or undocumented. Regardless, whoever is in the removal proceeding, so there is a last stage in your refugees or visa application where the USCIS is ready to deport you, but they put you into the removal proceedings. Now what this bill proposes is you will have a right to a lawyer and they can defend you to remain in the United States. So this is very helpful for a lot of undocumented immigrants. People who have been asking me, does this help me or does this help my case? If I lose my job on H1B and if I have 60 days to leave, and if I don't leave, will this help me? I don't think so. Now this is a really good parallel because undocumented immigrants, as you know, they cross over from the southern border, and that's who this bill will help. They will assign a lawyer on behalf of the undocumented people in order to fight USCIS, in order to stay in the country. Now if you talk about H1B and all, if people lose job on H1B, they have 60 days to leave unless they can find another H1B job or unless they can transfer over to another visa. But what if you cannot find a job and instead of leaving before 60 days, you end up staying here? Will this bill help you get a lawyer? In my opinion, it will not. In this case, you are knowingly or willfully breaking the law. That's what I would take away from this. It's mainly directed towards undocumented immigrants. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this bill, or is my interpretation wrong or incorrect in this particular bill? We'll see where it goes. I'll be sure to make a video on this if this bill goes to the vote in either Senate or in the House. Okay, now let's move on to our next topic. Now the next topic is USCIS extends temporary suspension of biometric submission for certain Form I-539 applicants. Now what does this mean? So USCIS has extended a temporary suspension of the biometric submission requirement for certain applicants filing I-539, which is application to extend or change non-immigrant status, requesting an extension of stay in or change of status to H4, L2 or E non-immigrant status. The previously announced suspension, which was initially in place until May 17th of 2023, has been extended through September 30th of 2023. So basically they are extending the timeline in which you are exempt from providing your biometrics for your extensions or dependent visa such as H4 or L2, which is a good news, and it's not a permanent extension, but it's just temporary extension by another 3 to 4 months. We'll see. I suspect that this suspension might even get extended even further more, but this is a relief to a lot of people because this is one more step in the process of getting your extensions, change of statuses, or applying for H4 or L2, in getting your biometrics and going through that process again. It unnecessarily delays the process. In my opinion, this is good that they are removing this requirement, or at least temporarily extending to remove this requirement up until end of September. So we'll see where this goes. Now my next topic is about an article from Cato Institute which suggests different types of relaxations in USCIS rules so that they can speed up the process for green card approval. So this is the article that I was talking about, which says streamlining to end immigration backlog. Now in this article they have given a lot of different ways. If you want to know what are those different ways, you can read through it, but some of them are just removing some conditions or relaxing some conditions or extending the time frames for validity of the documents. A lot of these things make sense. In particular, with the backlogs in the tens of millions, USCIS agencies face a critical choice. They can either streamline away unnecessary requirements or plod along, making do with the massive backlogs and gigantic wait times. The proposal laid out in this paper would radically reduce the number of filings, simplify process, and reduce backlogs across agencies. So I thought this is interesting. This doesn't mean that USCIS or the Department of State is going to adopt these suggestions. This just means that there is so much to think about, so much that can be done to reduce the backlog if they really wanted to. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, since the last couple of weeks, I have been getting questions regarding why is EB2 suddenly getting backlogged for the rest of the world category. It's the last 25 years since I have been following this. I have never seen EB2 ROW backlogged. I may have missed something, but at least for what I have known, there have always been spillovers or unused visa numbers remaining in this EB2 for rest of the world. That category never fills up. Now all of a sudden there is a huge demand in the EB2 in rest of the world, and it has gotten a priority date, and it's also retrogressing as per the USCIS message in the latest visa bulletin. Now why is this happening? My understanding is during the pandemic there was a huge backlog of nurses and medical professionals who typically use this category EB2 to apply for their visas to come into this country. Now that was stopped because of the pandemic, and that demand kind of piled up. All of a sudden, all that pending demand, a lot of those people who couldn't apply during the last 3 years are now suddenly applying. So this flood of applications is creating a backlog in the EB2 rest of the world category, and that's why I think these visas are getting used up. My assumption is we'll continue to see this demand build up for the next couple of years until it goes back to pre-pandemic days. So that is the reason there are no spillovers from the rest of the world EB2 category into EB1 or EB2. So EB1 is also getting backlogged, and EB2 also is going further back. Typically these visa numbers would be unused and they would flow over, and that's how the dates would move in the mid-year. Now this year we are not seeing any mid-year movement in the dates, at least in the further direction. It's going backwards. So hope it makes sense. Put down in the comment section below what do you think about this particular aspect. And then the last topic I wanted to cover in this video is, where are you investing nowadays? Because the Fed has increased the rates since last year. The 10-year yield bond directly impacts the mortgage rates, and it also impacts the interest rate that banks gives you for your savings account or your CD accounts. So right now, if you talk to your bank, wherever you are banking, they're giving you historically high rates for your savings account. Typically they have been less than 0.5% or 0.25% in the last several decades, but recently they have risen to 3.5 to even 4% for a simple savings account with the boosted rate. So if you have a pile of cash sitting in your checking account, do make sure that you put it into a high yield savings account, because you can easily get 3.5 to 4% interest rate, and that will be earning you cash while your money is sitting. Now in the other ways, if you wanted to invest in non-traditional assets such as art, you might want to check out my link in the description for Masterworks. That will give you access to participate in the highly desirable artwork that is being sold at an auction, and you can get a small profit out of it. Now there are no guarantees in life, so you make your own decision. Anyways, all those links are in the description, check them out. And before you go away, if you are old school, just carrying cash around for all your expenses, check out these awesome, sleek, minimalistic wallets from Esker. Now Esker sent me these wallets just recently. I just wanted to show you. Now this one is a nice leather wallet. It's a minimalistic look. It has a button at the bottom which you press and pop out all the cards that you like. This is a very good wallet that I use on a daily basis. I have a bunch of them. So that's one. The quality is premium and you can feel it. There is this another one which is metallic. It's also similar to the leather one, but this one has a tracker on the back side. You can use your phone to track this wallet as long as it's attached to the back of the card. Similar mechanism, you can pull all your cards with the press of a button, and this is very minimalistic. All these wallets are made from a high quality material, so you might want to check those links in the description to get some discount. They also have a compact tracker, and they have also included some batteries with it. And finally, there is a key case which is also of a premium leather quality. By the way, I will be giving away the leather wallet to the lucky winner, which I will be picking up from the first 50 people who will be commenting on this video. Your comment should be meaningful to the topic of this video and should be of useful to the community. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. If you like the content of this video, do hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.